Coming up next, I'm giving y'all this prison story and telling y'all about 3 crimes officers are more likely to overlook in prison. Stay tuned to the Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show.
It's JS Corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey bun, don't drink the coke, don't become another victim or the butt of a joke. Don't close both eyes when you sleep or get choked. When you go to the mess hall, sit with your team, cause if you sit with some punk boy, you can get seen.
What up, what up, what up? We are back. Who am I? Jersey Street Corner, and this is the Prison Talk Show, people. So let's get into it. Alright, y'all. Today, I'ma tell y'all 3 crimes officers will overlook in prison. And I'm gonna give y'all 3 small stories about each one with it. Let's go. Number 1 on the list, y'all, having a cell phone. Depending on your jacket, they gonna weigh the odds of them successfully taking the phone or potentially getting beat down or even poked up. My homie Mills had a heavy jacket, a lot of time to do, a lot of violent charges in prison. He done committed violent crimes in and out of prison, and he was the type of guy that just didn't care. He had at least about a good 25 years to do. So he wasn't the guy that was going to go hide and talk on his phone. Nah, most people, they got a jack. They going to wait till late night when, everything is a little quieter, and they going to get on there and they going to whisper. They ain't even going to be out there with it like that because they don't even want other inmates to know they got the phone half the time, except for their cellmate. Now, Mills, nah, when he wanted to use the phone, he got on the phone and started using it. Now, this guy, in the middle of the day, like 12:30 or 1 o'clock p.m., he's in his cell on the phone. Phone to the ear. Don't even got no earpiece or nothing. Sometimes we got the earpiece, and you can hide the phone in your pocket and make it look like your Walkman that you got plugged into your ear. That's what most dudes did if they was going to walk around the power with their joint on. But he got the phone up to his ear, talking his ass off, loud, laughing, just kicking it. CO's walking the pod. Now, everybody trying to throw him the alley-oop. Hey, yo, hey, CO, hey, what up, CO? And they doing this on purpose because everybody know he in there on the phone because he's so loud. And don't nobody like seeing nobody getting cased up. But he ain't budge. He ain't move. Mills stood right there in that cell. That CO got in front of his cell. He turned around and looked at that CO in his eye. The CO looked back into that cell. He stood there for about a good 2 minutes. And then he just turned and walked off. And now I think that was his natural reasoning kicking into effect. When a deer see headlights, they freeze. I think that's what happened to that officer for a slight moment. He looked at Mills and froze, and then he thought twice about his life and said, you know what? I'm going to keep it moving. Because if he had made the mistake of opening that cell and even thinking twice about approaching Mills, about getting off that phone and handing it over, I guarantee you, he would have got his jaw broke. He would have got ribs broke. He would have got beat down in that cell so quick, it would have looked like an MMA match. Yeah. Because this guy Mills was brutal. I done seen his work. I done seen him fight before, and he ain't no joke. He will toss you halfway across the room if you get on his bad side. That's how strong the guy was. He got so crazy with it, he was walking around the pod, phone up on his ear every day like it was a regular city block or something. Like he must have had unlimited minutes. He just burning time walking around on the phone. Oh, hold on, babe, hold on. Hey man, you don't see me on the phone, man. What you want? What you want? Yeah, like that. Now, all the other guards that came in the pods, and I'm talking day shift and night shift, they knew what it was with Mills. They ain't give him no smoke. They let him rock. But, well, I'm not telling y'all YNs that having a phone in prison is going to always get overlooked, but it gets overlooked a lot. Now, you're always going to have one asshole that is going to go buy the book, and he going to see you with that phone, and he going to try and confiscate it. And that asshole approached Mills one day. And that was the last time I saw Mills, at least in that prison. Because when he approached Mills, he walked up to him, aggressive. "Inmate, give me the phone now." Mills gave him the look of death. Like, I know you not screaming at me. Mind you, Mills towering over this guard. The guard think because he got a radio on and, you know, he's supposed to have authority, he got a little fake badge on, that he gonna, you know, submit. Mills told him, walk away. Just like that. Walk away. For your own good, just walk away. And, you know, of course now, is mad inmates around. That guard, he butthurt now. His feelings, he in his feelings, for real. Walk away? Who do you think you talking to, inmate? Enough is enough. He pulls out his little baton stick they got. "Give me the phone now." He said, "What you gonna do with that? Do something. Do something." He put the phone in his pocket, and he went right for that CO's throat. Grabbed him, picked him up in the air. You ever hear the term, yo, he got dirt slammed? Well, that's exactly what happened to the CO. Boom! Doom! 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 Yeah, he bounced on the ground. He got dirt slammed. Unconscious. They had to call for backup. They got Mills down, subdued him, took 3 sets of handcuffs, cuffed his arms, cuffed his legs, dragged him on up out of there. Now, I don't know if he got a cell phone again in the next place that he went, which was, I'm sure, lockup. And I'm sure they took the one that he had in his pocket away from him once they had him locked up. So, yeah, you can have one, but you got to know how to rock the right way. If you're going to have a phone, you got to move the right way. You can't just be letting everybody see it and play with it. None of that. Keep your shit to yourself. Alright, y'all. Number 2 on the list. Crimes that officers will often overlook in prison. Consensual sex. Yep. Now, whether or not the bottom is telling administration the truth or not is a whole nother story. I'm going to tell you about sometimes those booty bandits will put the fear of God in a weaker inmate. And I guess the threat of getting beat bad or unalived for telling the truth plays a big factor in what they say. So this guy Terrell was a new inmate. Small guy. This guy's in the pod already locking on to him. They looking at him like fresh meat. Well, a guy named Carl from another pod got a hold of him, caught him by himself and smacked the piss out of him. From that day on, word is, Terrell turned into Carl's boy toy. And Terrell was too scared to tell the guards he needed help. Carl, well, y'all might have heard of Carl in some of my previous stories. He was known as the finisher. And supposedly, he did just that every single time. Now, I don't know all the particulars of this story, but I do know this to be true. Terrell, well, he moved himself over the C-Pod. And when I say moved himself, he requested. And when you request to go to C-Pod, there is no coming back. When you want to be in C-Pod, it's only for one reason and one reason only. Because you live in that alternative lifestyle. And you feel more comfortable with people like yourself. So, supposedly, he went on over to C-Pod, moved on in with Carl until Carl got tired of him, kicked him out, and then he was just state property. Y'all know what I mean on C-Pod. Y'all know what state property mean on C-Pod. He got tossed around like the hot potato. Now, whether or not Terrell wanted that type of action, I don't know. But he should have probably opened his damn mouth a long, long time ago before things got this bad. It was all good just a week ago. Now, y'all, number 3. And mind you, this list is in no particular order. But number 3 to me of crimes officers will overlook in prison. Running a store in prison is highly prohibited. And again, will be overlooked depending on your jacket. If it's going to be easier to keep you happy because they really don't want no smoke, your cell might never get tossed. I've seen officers stuck on shift in a pod and purchase chips, soda, candy bars from the store. Depending on your state, a lot of jails and prisons don't even have vending machines for the COs because they don't want them to give it to the inmates. Now, obviously, a CO ain't giving you double back. He probably not even gonna pay you. But that's the lick right there. You gonna get something even better. A favor. And those favors go a long, long way in prison. Hold up. Brief interjection. If you haven't done so already, please hit that like button right now, people. Also, share the channel and hype the video so other people can hear exactly what it's like in prison. Alright, y'all. Back to the story. Now, when you dealing with a CO, you gotta move right. No CO is ever gonna admit to dealing with an inmate. So, you gotta move accordingly. Now, if a CO comes to your store and he get a Snickers bar and a soda, a bag of chips, and he do this every day, you got a little rapport going. Just because you hitting him off every day don't mean you supposed to jump out your face and hey CO, you got me, right? You gonna look me out, right? You just ruined weeks of trust, weeks of putting in work with that CO because he thought you were smart enough to understand the unwritten rules. You don't talk about it. He's doing something illegal already by getting things from you. So in turn, he already knows you expect him to do something illegal for you. But you're not supposed to ask. You're not supposed to talk about it. When the time comes, you let what you need be known. Simple as that. Now, the fact that he's taking stuff from you means that morally, he's not going to just be an asshole if you say whatever, like, hey, CO, you think you could bring me a phone in here? Or you think you get me a cheeseburger? Or this and that? Little trees, something. The most that he's going to say is no. But he's not going to dime you out. He's not going to go and write you up, trying to say you robbed him. None of that. Because he knows initially he was wrong to even do business with you, taking your products. So either he's going to respectfully decline, or he might just be cool enough and say, hey man, I got you, man. I got you. Just keep it on the low. Don't say nothing to nobody. Don't tell nobody. And that's normally how it starts, the don't tell nobodies. And when they start saying don't tell nobody, that means you got them and they about to, start bringing the house down. They're going to start bringing in whatever you asked them for eventually. You just got to prove that you could be trusted. And that's the most important thing in prison, y'all, is trust. If you can't be trusted, well, y'all know how it goes. A CO ain't gonna trust you if your own homies don't trust you. So if you the guy that's always getting DP'd and beat down and, getting in trouble for doing this and that with your own people, then that CO will never trust you. He will never do business with you. And that is the only way that you can get favors. Now, you can run the store, but your jacket got to be heavy. You can't just run a store and think that the CO is going to let it rock and the inmate's going to let it rock. Everybody know what you're doing. So, those are just the 3 things I think COs overlook in prison most often. Alright, y'all, listen, get in the comment box. Tell me what y'all think. What do you think COs overlook in prison? As usual, this is Jersey Street Corner Prison Talk Show. I am your boy, Jersey Street Corner, and I'm out.
It's JS Corner from the prison story massacres. I be telling stories about the pushers and the traffickers, trying to keep the YNs away from the bandits. Don't eat the honey bun, don't drink the coke, don't become another victim or the butt of a joke. Don't close both eyes when you sleep or get choked. When you go to the mess hall, sit with your team, cause if you sit with some punk boy, you can get seen, then you can get dealt with. Prison justice like you never felt it. I be taking y'all back to stories of the helpless. That lava I spit, get your boys' stories melted. I spit about prison justice cause I dealt it. And you a real hater if you can't respect it. All that bullshit, yeah, I'm here to check that. Any confrontation, I'ma show up. Bet that. You a real hater,